보고 시작하면은
내가 필요한 나를 보여줘.
나태주.
에?
나태주.
No.
That's the original person, but he's talking about the recent guy.
Really? You're too young.
시작하는군요.
밀레니얼.
우리 엘비스 노랫소리가 들어갔어요.
에?
엘비스 엘비스 노랫소리 들어갔다고.
아.
자, 오늘은 차 문화에 대해서 얘기할 건데 우리가 어떻게 준비를 했는지 에이프릴을 소개 한번 해주실래요? 먼저?
영어로요?
아니, 한국말로 해주세요. 이거는 보는 라디오.
중국어도 되고.
오늘 우리가 이렇게 4가지 차를 준비를 했는데, 그리고 찻잔이랑 차를 이렇게 세트를 이제 가지고 왔어요. 그래서 이제 여기서 왼쪽으로부터 오른쪽이면 이제 한국 녹차, 그리고 옥수수, 그리고 꽃차, 공이차, 그리고 결명자차, 이렇게 4가지를 준비를 했는데요. 오늘 이렇게 꽃차도 한번 저희가 마셔볼 거고요. 그리고 이제 녹차도 한번 이렇게 안에 뜨거운 물로 해서 한번 저희가 준비를 했습니다.
That's so good. I feel like, when you watch a documentary on TV and you're just like listening to the narrator. It's beautiful.
National Geographic.
Very
I forgot
funny.
to say the snack.
It's okay. Not the chewing gum.
저는 떡도 있어요, 떡.
떡도 있는데
네.
제가 차만 봤네요.
좋아요? 떡 좋아요?
네.
이거 마시는 떡이죠? 맛있게 생겼어요.
근데 그 뭐지? 외국에서는 차 마시면서 쿠키나 이런 거 먹잖아. 근데 우리는 떡을 준비했네요.
Or cucumber sandwich.
아, 진짜?
Sandwich.
네.
If you're like 영국 사람,
스타일.
a little so yummy, like 오이 빵 and mustard. Not honey mustard, like yellow mustard.
아, 그것도 준비했으면 좋았을 텐데, 그치?
맛있어.
Bread. Even
But
bread.
많이
Yeah, it's most
많이
basic.
사람 안 좋아해요.
아, 진짜?
전 들었는데
Cucumber, 그냥 cucumber sandwich. So people are like, ugh.
나도 하는 거였어.
오이만 들어있는 거라.
It's refreshing.
그래, 나도 좋아해. 나도 그런 스타일 좋아해. 영국 가야겠다.
준비하세요.
네. Today is a special day. Today is a special day. Do you know whose birthday it is today? 생일.
아, 진짜?
오.
누구?
해피 버스데이.
아니, not me.
그럼 누구?
이승신.
이순신?
Ready?
나.
Here is your daily quiz reminder, listeners. You still have a chance to answer our quiz question and send those answers into pound 9870 for your chance to win one of our awesome prizes. Earlier in the show today, we talked about a ritual to celebrate Admiral Yi's 476th birthday. The memorial rite for the 476 years since Admiral Yi's birth is to be held in a scaled-down version. It is being hosted by the Culture Ministry. The ritual is scheduled to take place at the Hyunjungsa Shrine in Ansan, Chungnam Province later today at 11 a.m. So right about this time it's happening. Now, due to concerns about the spread of COVID-19, there's only the descendants of Admiral Yi are able to visit in person to pay respects, and there will be no other cultural events happening. This ritual is, of course, to proceed with the incense burning, and it will be followed by a recital of a written prayer. I do imagine that there will be relevant events that have been taking place to celebrate Admiral Yi's birthday, including calligraphy exhibition and a pottery exhibition happening outside of the Hyunjungsa Shrine. If you are interested in celebrating that in your own way, I do recommend doing it at home. That brings us to today's quiz, listeners. This Joseon-era admiral was a great leader who saved his country during the Imjin War and the Japanese invasion of Korea in 1592. He is credited with designing and improving the turtle ship, and on the Gwanghwamun Plaza in Seoul, there is a statue of this admiral. We want to know, who is he? Is he A. Jang Bo-go, B. Lee Sun-shin, or C. Seo-hee? If you know the answer to that, send us a text right now to pound 9870. Keep in mind, though, a short text will cost you 51 and a longer text will cost you 101. But sending in the right answer, you have a chance to win some lovely prizes, which include a gift certificate to Bickel Women's Hospital and a 10,000 won gift card to Bakery Ericsson in Yeonggwang. Up next is part 3 and 4, where you and we answer the question, what are you doing? Let's meet together live on NotTube, channel GFN. Keep it tuned here to GFN, 98.7 FM in Gwangju, 93.7 FM in Yeosu.
Hello, hello, what are you doing?
I don't know!
Hello, what are you doing? Yummy.
Right? Yummy!
Yummy.
Throughout history, humans have been curious about the world around them. We are almost always doing, seeing, making, or thinking about something. Our curious nature leads us to ask our friends, family, neighbors, and even acquaintances, what are you doing? Join us to find out. In the studio, I'm your host, Kaylin Nichols, and welcome now to What Are You Doing? Good morning, everyone.
Good
morning.
How are you today?
I think the weather is quite nice. So.
Yes. It was sunny-esque as I was making my way to the studio.
Oh, yes.
But still dusty, listeners, because I'm holding in sneezes, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was it still sunny as you came in? I mean, I came in at like 9, so...
Oh, yeah.
Was it still sunny?
Yeah, it was funny.
I heard there may be a threat of rain a little later in the afternoon, but I didn't know. I mean, that was what I heard from someone else. I haven't seen the official forecast, but yes, no comment.
It was a
Don't
little
think
bit
so.
cloudy.
Was there some clouds?
Yeah, it wasn't super sunny. It was like some clouds. So.
I am hoping for rain. Is that bad?
Me too.
Because rain kind of pulls a little bit of the dust out of the air. Usually
Yeah.
after it rains, the air quality gets a little better,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
please.
True.
And don't forget that it might even get worse with the humidity.
Oh, well, that is
That's
true.
true.
Yes, with the rain comes the humidity. It's like a
There's a
lose-lose
yeah,
situation there.
situation.
We hope it clears the atmosphere at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so listeners, What Are You Doing is meeting you in multiple ways while our voices and music comes out on the radio. This show is also being live streamed on NotTube. You can check out channel GFN. Come and join us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. on the radio, but from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on NotTube. And don't forget to click like and subscribe to channel GFN so you don't miss a thing, right?
Yeah.
매주 수요일 11시에서 12시 GFN이 라디오뿐만 아니라 너튜브로도 여러분을 찾아갑니다.
All right, and we are called What Are You Doing? 이름하여
뭐하니?
All right, so don't forget, listeners, check, like, subscribe, tell your friends, family, frenemies, enemies, anybody you work with, coworkers, random people on the street. Tell everybody, and join us on NotTube so you can chat with us live, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wanted to know what this is. I will do so. Thank you. Okay, so before we get going, because we have a new mask today, listeners, we want to introduce to everyone, but we have a message that's coming in from listener 7282. 7282 says, "This is my present. I wish I could make it and send it, but I wish you could have some with your eyes."
Oh, that sounds so poetic.
Yes.
Right?
Shakespeare.
Feast. Well, they do say that some, pictures are a feast for your eyes,
Yeah,
right?
true.
And when I see a beautiful sunset, or especially like fall colors, with the reds and the yellows and the oranges, I do feel like my eyes are feasting. Right. Okay, like we said, we have a new mask. Let's check her out now. Can you introduce yourself, April?
Hi, my name is April, and it's so great to be here. Thank you for having me today. And yeah, it's my first time in a radio show, so I'm a little bit nervous. I hope everything goes well today. Okay?
It will be perfect.
Of
Yes, I
course.
hope it's perfect.
Yeah.
And where do you come from?
Oh, I'm actually from Mokpo, so it's an hour drive away from here. So, and you can see all the sea.
Yes, it's beautiful, right? Okay, how are you doing today, Frank?
I'm doing great and nervous too.
Where?
I I woke up kind of late today.
Oh no.
I'm still in the hangover of the exams, but
How did your exams go?
Yeah.
yeah, it was not bad.
Not bad?
Yeah,
Of course.
Okay.
not bad. But actually, I woke up so kind of late. I had to rush. I took a taxi, so nervous, and it was kind of annoying driver. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm good, really good.
How about you, Elvis? How are you doing today?
아, 저는 기분 창이에요, 창. 네. 시험 끝났고, 날씨도 좋고, 4월 끝나가고 있는데, 5월 되면은 5월에 그 휴일 좀 있고, 그래서 그냥 좋아요.
Whoa.
I'm very, very okay.
Very, very okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Listeners, we hope you are out there and are also very, very okay.
Yeah.
If you are joining us, we are What Are You Doing? And today what we are doing is we're going to have some tea time.
Yes.
I love it. Tea is very calming. Tea is very, tasty. There's so many different varieties. And there's just such a culture, I think, that surrounds tea in so many different countries, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you guys like tea?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say shaking heads also out loud. Yes. What kind of tea is your favorite?
I haven't seen this in other countries,
Okay.
but it's called 돼지 감자. 돼지 감자 cha. It's really good for your health,
Ooh.
and it's in English. It's called Jerusalem artichoke. Artichoke. Yeah. So, but it's not very common in other.
I have not heard of that.
It's very nutty and sweet, so I kind of like
But I
it.
think
It does sound.
Yeah.
anything to
tasty.
do with Jerusalem
Yeah,
is
that
good
would
for
be
you.
good.
Oh, really?
Elvis, what about you?
For me, well, before coming to Korea, I didn't know there were so many types of tea. Yeah, so like for me, I'll just stick to the old black tea.
Black
Yeah,
tea's got
I
it,
enjoy-
right?
yeah,
Okay.
I enjoy black tea most.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Frank, how about you?
In my case, I never drink tea without milk.
Hmm.
So that's me. That's my old breakfast for every day. It's
I do love
black tea with milk
Milk
inside,
tea, yes.
and sugar, of course.
I think the only tea I don't drink with milk and sugar would be like herbal teas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Any kind of fruit tea or flower tea, because I find the milk overpowers
Yeah,
that
yeah, true,
delicate,
definitely.
because they're so delicate. Listeners, you might have like 10 teas set up in front of you, and each one is a different kind of flower tea, and when you're tasting them and you think to yourself, they have the same taste. But they don't. Like, it's very subtle differences between them. Now, people in your country are big tea or coffee drinkers, generally speaking. Frank?
Tea.
Tea, okay. Elvis?
That will be definitely tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this, but April?
I think personally, like
Mm.
I've observed that there's more coffee lovers
I
than
think
tea
so.
lovers.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
For Canada, I would say it's a 50-50.
okay.
Because I think equal amount are descendant of British
Yeah.
or British colonies or that kind of thing, where tea was the dominant drink of
Yeah.
choice. But then, of course, we're also like 50% coffee in the
Yeah.
morning, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you have anything in particular or special that if you drink tea here in Korea that you eat or like to eat with your tea?
Oh.
That's
Bread.
a good
For
question.
example, like in Canada, it's very, as a child or as a younger person, it's very typical to have your tea after dinner. Like after you finished your dinner, and then it's like you sit down and have a tea, and what is served with tea might be what you would typically have for your dessert. Like a cake or cookie or a biscuit, or if you're having tea like afternoon tea.
Yeah.
So that would be like a cucumber sandwich or small thin like egg salad sandwiches or like that.
Yeah.
But how about in other countries? What about you, April?
In Korea, I think it's like similar to Canada, where it's like a dessert thing. So
Right.
like after eating, like they would usually drink tea with like small snacks like hangwa, and then like 떡,
Right.
like a small bite size.
Okay.
So yeah, so just to, I mean, they'll be probably already full. So
Oh yeah, or fruit sometimes.
Yeah,
I've
or
seen
fruits,
fruit
yeah,
here,
definitely.
like apple slices or
pear.
pear slices, some fruit in let's not say in style.
Yeah.
My brain just went blank. I can't think of the word. Season, in season.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
like
yes.
strawberries
Yeah.
are like, you know, or pears. Right,
Yeah,
right.
but like I don't think we drink it like in breakfast or like
Got
something
it,
like,
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Elvis?
Well, that's a 어려운 질문이에요. That's quite a hard question.
Okay. I didn't realize I was asking the difficult questions today.
Because actually in Kenya, I think people really drink a lot of tea, and tea qualifies as a meal, shiksato-teko,
Oh.
and as a like a kanshik.
Snack?
Yes, as a snack.
Okay.
Yeah, kanshik to-teko. So like in Kenya, like generally every morning 아침마다 일어나서 제일 먼저 먹는 거는 차. So every morning, yeah, it's breakfast. And so being breakfast, that means you'll take it with like bread, as Frank said,
Right.
or last time we talked of mandazi,
Oh.
very common, yeah.
Right.
And then we also have like sweet potatoes, yeah. Yeah.
Sweet potato and tea.
Yeah,
That could
right.
be interesting. I'll
Yeah.
love it with like a milk tea, I think.
Yeah, very nice, yeah. So very normal. And then when you take it as a snack, normally like in my family case at around 4 p.m. we will have like tea time
Okay.
as a family.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like after taking dinner too, and some people after taking lunch, they have some tea too.
They'll have
Yeah, yeah.
it's like kind of your dessert then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. How about you, Frank? What are things you like to enjoy with your tea?
저는 개인적으로 티는 티 시면은 빵이 있어야 돼요. 그거는 기본이에요. 아침에 일어나자마자 티 있어야 되고 빵도 있어야 돼요. 같이. 그래서 빵 먹으면서 티 마시는 거예요. 그건 아침 식사가 되고, 그리고 그 루안다 같은 경우는 대부분 저녁에 만약에 일하고 퇴근하면 뭐 티 마시면서 쉬고 TV 보는 거예요. 그런 문화가 있어요. 특히
오케이.
우리 아빠 같은 경우는 항상 6시에 티 있어야 돼요. 그냥 퇴근하시면은 약간 TV 보시면서 이렇게 약간 티 먹고 약간 계시는 거예요.
진짜?
네. 그리고 간식 같은 것은 사실 그렇게 많이 필요 없어요. 티 그냥 티 있는
맞아.
그 자체만
only the tea.
있으면 돼요.
Yeah.
그냥 티 마시면서 약간 아페타이저 같다고 생각할 수 있어요. 왜냐면 밥 먹기 전에 티 마시니까 약간 아페타이저는 아니지만 그래도 뭐 약간 먹기 전에
Preparing the stomach.
예.
Mine is usually helping to aid digestion, not preparing.
It's the other
If
way
I've
around.
eaten too much, it's like peppermint tea.
Yeah.
But if I'm still looking for something a little sweet, it's like milk tea or.
그리고 저는 개인적으로 티는 아침만 먹어요. 약간 점심 저녁 같은 경우는 티는 아니고 아메리카노예요. 나머지는 아침에는 꼭 티예요.
Right.
우유 들어가 있으니까 좀 무거워요. 그런 거.
All right. Have you ever experienced the tea culture here in Korea?
Yeah.
Have you? You've been to an actual tea house and had a full tea ceremony, or just you've seen it happen, or what kind of?
If you speak of it that way, then no. But 저 temple stay 가봤거든요. So during the temple
stay,
stay, we had like the tea session with the monks and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought of that as a tea culture.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Frank?
This is my first time.
This is your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so if our listeners have not already done so, quickly go to NawTube and check out channel GFN, because we do have a kind of traditional tea set in front of us with some tea as well. There are 2 bowls, I think, that are missing from the traditional tea set, but we have limited space and also a lot of electronics and cords around, so I don't want to knock anything off. But April's actually going to explain a little bit about tea culture here in Korea, right? Okay, so what can you tell us?
So I did a little bit of searching, and then the tea culture in Korea has a really long history, which first derived from Buddhism around the Three Kingdoms era. So it's like about 2,000 years ago. So they usually had tea ceremonies for ancestors as a way of paying respect for them, and also for religious ritual practices. So tea planting and tea drinking was very common during those days, but then it kind of subsided during the Joseon dynasty when the Buddhism became a little bit less popular as a religion. So, but now like we can see that the tea culture became very common again.
Yes.
So
it has made a comeback, right?
yes, and green tea is very common as we know. But as Elvis told us, we have so many types of tea made. Yeah, and then they're more like they could be made out of grains, fruits, plant roots, and flowers. So, for example, such as like barley, pori, and corn, oksusu. We have one prepared today, and Solomon's seal, which is 둥글레, and then which is very common in Korea.
Right.
That's common.
And then as a fruit example, we could have yuja cha, right? So, so if drinking tea was like a ritual thing, then now it's like a more casual, health-related, everyday thing, right? So like, we know that green tea is really good for your health, right? So it's something that is like scientifically proven.
I think the two largest green tea producers, I think, within Korea would be Boseong and Jeju. I think that is the biggest two. There are a few smaller plantations for green tea. I know there's one just outside of Gwangju. It does not accept people. You cannot go and take a tour of it. But the one in Boseong is huge. They have like over 3,000 plants or something.
They have like a tour too. Right?
Yeah, you can take a tour. You can walk through the field. Like, it's amazing, and it smells so fresh there. I think for the boricha that you mentioned, I think a lot of people usually drink that one cold in summertime. There's a lot of it in the coolers I see in any convenience store that you find, right? I like it when I'm sick of water.
Oh, right.
You know, you're trying to hydrate in the summer and you're like, drink 2 liters of water a day. And you just buy like 1 liter, you're like, if I drink another thing of water, I'm going to die. So then you switch to like boricha or nokcha, right? I think there's even some nokcha that is like mixed with boricha. It's like bori nokcha. But they have very distinct flavors, right? Now we have, again, the tea set, a proper, beautiful tea set, I might add, listeners, in front of us here. There is the pot that holds the tea leaves, the loose leaves. We have the pot that brews it. There is a small stand for the lid of the teapot that brews it. We are missing, which we have in the basket, but we are missing the bowl that you put the tea water in, and the bowl you dump the extra leaves, the brewed leaves in, right? So then you brew it in the pot, then you pour it into the bowl, and then you pour the bowl into each of the cups. Right. And then on each side we have a delicious dok snack. Which is, it has one of my favorite dok in it. The dok with the honey and sesame inside. All of them have the honey and sesame inside.
It's like random,
all the round ones.
It's your lucky day to drink.
The other ones are the half moon ones. I think they usually have red bean inside them, right? So not bad, just red bean is not my favorite.
When put together, then
so it becomes a bit chewy, like sticky in your mouth with the red bean and the dok on the outside. Then I'm just like, I need more tea to wash it down. Where's the ones with the honey inside? It's like sloop and down it goes. Now, what about Elvis? What is do you have like a tea culture in Kenya per se?
Well, I will not speak of it exactly as tea culture.
A tea, okay.
But speaking about tea, as I said earlier, Kenyans really drink a lot of tea.
Right.
It's like the official breakfast menu.
Okay.
Every morning, tea. If you don't have tea, then that's a weird day.
Your whole day is off, if you don't have your tea.
Exactly. So I think it's a thing we got from the British, like because we were colonized by the British. So the British drinking culture also came to us. And from that, like Kenya picked up by being like a producer of very good tea. And that's what keeps us going. Actually, Kenya coffee is popular all around
it's worldwide. It's a really famous Kenyan coffee is like I don't know if you'd call it a gold standard, but it's usually like a kind of a quality standard for the rest of the world.
Valued,
so why do you not drink that coffee?
But for people who don't know, our tea too is very popular.
Oh, is it? Okay.
If you go to like to Arab countries, they drink a lot of tea too, right? they really like Kenyan tea.
Ah, I feel like now I need to get some
Yeah.
authentic Kenyan tea and check it out.
Yeah, yeah. And when you go to Britain, they also really like Kenyan tea. Yeah, they use Kenyan tea to blend their teas, which is
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a lot of tea from British countries, but I
Yeah, so
don't
you
know
can-
if it's actually made in Britain per se, and
Yeah.
then shipped to Canada, which was then shipped to me here.
Yeah, it's probably made in Britain, but it's blended using Kenyan tea.
Really?
Yeah, so they get
Wow.
Kenyan tea and then use it to blend the tea they have.
I'm going to go look on the boxes now.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got where not where it's manufactured, but where the tea comes from.
Yeah.
And I'm so curious if it's Kenyan tea or not.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty interesting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you ever had Kenyan tea, or does you have your own?
We drink some too much Kenyan tea, Kenyan
Right.
coffee in
Yeah.
Rwanda.
Oh.
It's like an exchange actually for these East African countries.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
But
say
does
people,
Rwanda not grow any coffee or tea on its own, or not
we
really?
are also big producers of coffee and tea.
Oh.
you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Rwanda coffee and Rwanda tea.
Mhm.
Oh, I even brought one, like a sample here.
Yeah,
This is Rwandan black tea,
yeah.
and this is Rwandan green tea.
Yeah.
So there are many categories depending on the companies making
Right.
them.
Yeah, true.
But we have very many like plantations of tea and coffee. So Rwanda coffee, in particular, is kind of popular in Europe
Right.
and the USA.
Right.
Like many people really buy them a lot. And Rwanda tea too, the same thing.
Huh.
So in Rwanda, same as Kenya, like achim shiksa.
Yeah.
They don't ask you, did you have breakfast? That's
Yeah.
not the question.
Yeah.
Did you have tea? That's the question.
I kind of like that. Did you have tea?
Yeah.
No, I had coffee.
Like for example, 11시인데 뭐 갑자기 배고파요. 아침 안 먹었어요. 그렇게 하진 않고 차 안 먹었어요. 그렇게 말해요. 약간 그만큼 아침은 꼭 티 마셔야 된다는 그런 문화예요.
네, 맞아요.
티하고 빵 그거는 항상 같이.
차심 versus 밥심.
But this is just for breakfast.
Yes.
I kind of agree with that, though. You don't need a breakfast if you have a tea or I guess a coffee. But usually, for when I was younger, it was tea. I didn't drink coffee before Korea, so if I had a tea, that was enough for breakfast. It filled me up. It had milk. It had
Yes.
sugar. It flavor the way you go, right?
Actually, when I came to Korea and found out that people take pap, 아침으로 밥
Yeah.
먹어. 네.
상하죠.
Really, I was really surprised.
밥 절려요. 절려요.
Alright.
제가 한 번 먹어봤는데 10시에 절리는 거예요. 절려요, 진짜 절려요.
All right, listeners, we need to take a station break, but don't go anywhere. In the second half, we're going to actually try our tea out today. Before we go, though, we have a quick message from listener 6401 who says, I thought Kenya is famous for coffee. I learned something today. Thank you, Elvis.
Oh, welcome.
All right, listeners, we're also going to listen to a track by Im Hyung-jung. It's called Tea Time.
Yeah.
Well, that was a crappy start. Whew.
그러니까 케냐 진짜 원두 엄청 유명하잖아요.
티 중요해요. Do you know this kind of coffee break, right?
Yeah.
Like people at 10 when you go to your company or if you're working, there's always a tea break at 10 a.m.
Oh, really?
Because they consider that some people don't have tea in the morning because they wake up maybe late, they are busy preparing.
That's why you have a coffee break, right?
Yeah, we do have it.
But for us, it's a tea break.
You okay?
Tea or coffee? Yeah.
I think in Korea, like 눈치. 눈치 봐요.
But Korea, it's okay because they have like the mixed coffee machines and everything. So someone
Yeah, you
just
can just drink.
You
Yeah,
have it on
sorry.
your desk.
yeah, we can have it on the
But these
that's
days,
why.
they are changing to in Rwanda.
Yeah,
Instead of having this 30 minutes break,
yeah, right.
they serve it on your
just
desk.
on the desk. Yeah.
So you continue working.
우리 시간이 없을 것 같으니까 티를 부르는 게 어떨까?
미리
응.
자, 손모델 출발.
한국 녹차 마실래요? 대입차 마실래요?
한국 녹차 or the
대입차.
bamboo.
드나무. Bamboo leaves or green tea.
I say green tea.
Green tea.
Try
Green tea?
like to see if there's like difference.
Yeah.
자, 우리가 실시간으로 여러분께 자 차를 우리는 거를 보여드립니다.
나 이거 잘 못하는데?
And the flower one, right?
No,
The flower one should open up in the water, right?
근데 차 준비하는
녹차 먼저 넣고.
원래는 야.
머리 좀 뒤로 빼서주시면 안 돼요? 자, 차입을 넣고.
너무 많이 넣었나? 안 보여. 그만. 한 번 버려야 되잖아. 응.
자, 일단 좀 뿌려놓겠습니다. 여기에는 꽃차를 할게요.
오, 유튜브네.
일단 물을 담고 여기
그것도 한 번.
씻어요?
예. 진짜.
It's so cool how it opens up eventually.
물이 더 많아야 활짝 피지 않을까요?
그럼 물을 더 많이 넣어.
그러니까
안 마실 거.
Pleasing too.
쏘리 유튜버. 가득 채워 넣을 거 없고 피는 거 보게. 아, 가득 채워 넣어줄래?
잘 보이려나 모르겠다.
그러니까.
일단 피는 거 보고. 근데 안 피면 어떡하지?
물이 더 뜨거웠으면 금방 폈을 것 같아요.
그렇게 해야죠.
물에 식어버려가지고.
많이 식었어?
아니.
펭수 아빠 wants to know if you did your homework. 여자 친구
자,
만나.
다음.
그래 맞아요.
아, 펭수.
이거 버리려면 그거를 넣지 말았어야 되는 거 아니에요? 차를?
아니지.
차를
차에 위에서 먼지가 붙어 있으니까.
그런가요?
그럼.
여러분 차에 먼지가 붙어 있어서 한번 버려야 된답니다.
네.
먼지 같은 게 있을 수도 있으니까 이물질.
여기 입투버 계시네요. 입투버. 입으로 말하시는 분.
미?
네, 피디님이십니다.
안녕하세요.
가득 채웠습니다.
잘한다.
오케이.
자,
풀어놓겠습니다.
됐습니까?
아니 근데 빨리 안 열리면 어떡하지? 안 열리면 어떡하냐?
물 더 끓여볼까?
아 뜨겁긴 해요. 뜨겁긴 한데.
점점 지금 조금 커졌어요.
그래요?
Eventually it opens.
So it has to open?
It's got to soak
Yeah,
in the water first, and
So
once
it blooms
it
in the water.
yeah, it's like once it rehydrates.
That's a nice expression.
When you dehydrate it, it closes up, and then when you rehydrate it,
제 꽃차가 필 비누가 보입니까?
커지긴 커져.
조금
뭔가,
불었어요.
자 일단은 저는 퇴장하겠습니다.
퇴근하십시오.
유튜버 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
손이 예뻐서.
부족하면 썰어서 드세요.
아, 이렇게 차가 많구나. You know, me, I don't even care about the brand,
Right?
the coffee, because I still have to add milk, so I don't care about the tea taste. So it's always I have to add milk. I care about the milk than the tea. Tea is just for just basic. It's like a foundation.
Like a supporter.
it's a filler. Might as well be water, but it gives it a hint, you know.
But you know, these days people have turned to porridge instead of tea.
Right.
Normally, porridge is for pregnant women,
Right.
but even men are trying to drink porridge these days. After the pandemic, in the lockdown, they had to share the porridge.
But I do think, though, that porridge probably is a little bit more nutritionally filling than just tea. So it can last you a little bit longer. You don't get hungrier as fast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I get hungry
I don't know.
easily when I drink porridge.
With porridge, there's two things that can happen. You either get filled up, or it makes your stomach expand and you feel more hungry.
Yeah, that's what happens to me.
Hopefully the first one. I'm gonna hope for the first one.
And you know, sometimes they say, "Oh, no man drinks porridge." You know.
Really? There's a saying?
하지 마세요.
So they said, "No, leave it for
Pregnant women.
pregnant or children." When you
That's
become a man, you turn your taste to tea. And you know, we have I don't know if you have time. We have a village
It's like
in
doing
Rwanda.
one step at a time, right?
We have a village of Muslims.
It's slowly but happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
좀 끓였어요.
That's freshly hot.
그럼 꽃차 물 버리고 회로 그걸 넣을까요?
될것 같아.
좋아.
It is very, very hot.
하시고 지금 꽃차물을 다시 담아볼게요.
옆에가 조금 열리긴 해.
옆에 열렸어요?
그래도 이제 뜨거운 물 해야지 확 열릴 것 같아.
잠깐만 감아볼게요.
열려버려.
You know, Kayla, we have like if I can say like a tea village, if I can say in Rwanda, in the capital city, there's a village full of Muslims. There are many Muslims there. You know, Muslims like green tea. So they will be sitting on the road. They don't like. It's a very, if I can say, comfortable place for anyone to just sit on the road, eat chapati. You know chapati,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
It's kind of
Flat
I think
bread.
you've
Flat
talked.
bread.
I was going to say, I think
Yeah,
you've talked
I
about
talked
it
about it
before.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it from India.
Right.
you will see some people sitting, discussing, drinking like green tea in very small cups like this,
That's
and eating chapati, discussing. It's kind of like, in my point of view, 약간 제일 멋있는 모습이에요. In our capital city, everybody likes it.
But
If you
not-
pass there,
that's a very Arabic culture.
true, they are Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they
So
like to do that.
If you go to Egypt, you'll see that a lot.
Yeah. So that's why me too. I like to go to the place to just see how people are enjoying, and they'll be sitting comfortably,
Fisting with the
comfortable.
While they're watching their future brides, family, no one is drinking tea.
봐봐, 뜨거운 물 같지? 보여? 잠깐만요. 카메라가 들어갑니다.
It's like a sea animal.
잠깐만요.
미역.
아직 초점 아직 못 잡고 있어요.
미역이잖아요.
No.
I mean like.
꽃이 근데 우리가 생각한 그런 꽃이 아니다.
그러게.
이게 막 우리가 생각했던 그런 꽃은 아니네요.
다시 한번 보여드릴게요.
네. 어때요? 이 꽃을 먹고 싶어요?
근데 안에 들어있는 것 같은데 아닌가?
안에 뭐가 들어있어.
근데
아직
그게 아직 덜
덜
익은 것 같은데.
이런
일단
거구나.
놔둬볼게요. 엄청 크게 필 것 같아.
It does look a bit creepy,
그러니까 그냥 수초 같다 수초.
like an alien in the glass.
이렇게 먹고 싶은 생각을 안 닿는 저는 그러네요.
그냥 보기만 합시다 보기만.
누나 만들었으니까 누나.
누나
싫은데.
It looks like
도전
국화차 maybe.
해보세요.
Yeah.
무슨 꽃이에요? 저게 한국말로 아니에요?
그냥 공예차.
공예?
왜냐면 인위적으로 만든 거야.
Yeah,
그렇게
Chrysanthemums. Oh yes, yes.
That's a handbag.
Do you know which flower that is exactly?
This.
We are back, listeners. That track was by Jungi Hawa Ulguldul, and it was called Saguria Kopi. If you are just joining us, this is What Are We Doing? And listeners, before we go on, What Are You Doing is always open to all of our listeners. And if you want to see what we are doing and have fun together through both radio and NotTube, please share your brilliant ideas about what we can do next. You can text us to pound 9870, and those who suggest amazing ideas will get amazing prizes as well. Now, hopefully you have all tuned into our NotTube channel, Channel GFN. You are going to see us try two different types of tea. I think we chose the Hanguk Dokja, right?
Yeah.
We have chosen the Korean green tea. Does anyone know particularly if this green tea came from, say, Bosang or Jeju? No?
Maybe 보상.
Maybe Bosang? Most likely
probably
from
Bosang.
Bosang. Okay, so we're going to try the green tea. And if you missed it during the break time, we had one of our lovely PD/engineers here out in the studio who actually did it professionally, where she put the tea in and it has
Rinsed
been
the pot,
steeping, yes.
yeah.
And then we put the tea in the flour, the flour in the teapot. That's a backwards, right? And watched it bloom in the hot water, which is pretty cool. You can check that out. It has almost fully bloomed now, so unfortunately you won't get to see it actually blooming anymore, but you can see what the final thing looked like and what it started as, right?
Yeah.
So I guess what we have now is to try it. Who's closest to pour that? April? I was going to say I could try, but I think I'd have to write over yourself.
Yes.
All right, so if you tune in NawTube channel GFN, you're going to see April is going to not burn herself and try to pour the tea. This is the green tea that is in an actual tea set, complete tea set we have, except for it is currently just missing 2 bowls because we don't have a whole lot of space in the studio, and also we don't want to spill anything on cords, etc. All right, so gentlemen.
Yeah.
Elvis, you sound so unsure. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
It's green tea, right?
Thank you. And I don't know, listeners, if you can see the cups, if you've got a close-up on the cups, they are absolutely gorgeous. This is a beautiful, beautiful tea set. I think it's magnolia. There's a tiny flower on the inside of the cups that look a bit like a pink magnolia flower when it's just starting to bloom, before it's bloomed all the way. It is so beautiful. So we are going to be as socially distant as possible and try our tea. Nokcha. Try our green tea, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoy.
When I went for my temple stay, they said you should start drinking it through your nose.
Oh, really?
Well, that would burn, I think. They meant you should smell it.
Exactly.
Just in case, our listeners are thinking, wait, what? Should I? Yeah, just apparently the flower in the teapot, we have gotten an answer. The flower in the teapot is a water lily. So that's pretty cool. I've seen them on the actual water. I didn't know you could make a tea out of them. And listeners, please don't make a tea out of them yourself. Buy the tea in the store.
Yes. Water lily?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, of course, we can't tell because of the color.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right? But it is beautiful to see in nature, and it's cool looking, a little bit scary looking in the pot. I think the Korean name is Yeongo. Okay. It how's your green tea? Mine is really tasty.
Yeah, it's like roastful almost.
Yes, mild. It's a mild, no bitter aftertaste. Sometimes I find green tea can have a bit of a aftertaste.
썰은 맛.
네, 맞아. But this one is good, smooth, very smooth.
This from the smell,
So
it actually has like a green tea like smell.
Yeah,
really
the
good,
hint.
As he said, let's get open with that
It kind of has
subtle notes of.
it
with
has
the
the
top
same
note of-
taste as this one, but
Oh,
it's kind of smooth.
smooth, a bit
Yeah,
This
smoother.
one is so strong compared to this one.
Yes, I do
I like
find
this better.
I do find if you brew your green tea too long, it can be quite a sharp, bitter taste to it.
Yeah.
Apparently, depending on when they pick the green leaves, the taste like differs.
Differs, yeah, yeah.
Changes. That's pretty cool, right? New green tea versus older, more mature green tea leaves. Fair enough. Okay, so we have 2 teas we are actually going to taste today. So if you have finished your,
Did you guys all
finished mine.
Yeah.
So we're trying the flower one.
Yes,
The 꽃차.
this is the water lily.
Okay.
Without spilling water. Listeners, we have to be so careful. We're in a studio with a lot of technical things that would be very, very bad if we got any kind of water or tea on. Usually that is why there's no food or drink allowed in the studio. So, smart idea, yes.
I don't want to drip.
That's why it's there.
Yes, and this one, the water is freshly boiled, so this one is a little bit hotter than. Oh, that looks cool.
There's like
Wow.
white flour within the.
Oh,
within
listeners,
the tea.
quick! Oh, go to NawTube channel GFN. There's like if you look at the water lily in the teapot, the outside of it is the green sort of like petally parts to it, and it's heavy. And the inside has a white flowing, looks like this flowing kind of flower to it. It's so beautiful.
맞아. 사실 아까 마실까 말까 고민하고 있었는데 근데 이제 다 비어서 진짜 이쁘게
Oh,
나왔어.
now it's upside down.
no,
Oh, no.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Now I can see it better.
There's a little surprise in it.
Yeah. You had to be patient.
Surprise! Give her the chopsticks. I was gonna say no one ate their duck yet. Okay.
right.
That's okay. The poor water lily is now being. That is gorgeous. Okay, listeners. So we have put it upright so that the bottom would be more like what you see an actual flower, and it literally is so beautiful. It looks like a flower is blooming under the water with the leaves around
It's like a
it.
bouquet.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. A bouquet. Has anyone tried the tea yet?
Oh,
no.
It's
You
hot. I
were
haven't
enjoying
tried
the
it
view.
Yeah,
yet.
we were enjoying the view first, and then the
It's
nose.
really hot. Ouch. My cup is hot.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, we are going to try the drink, and we are still going to be live streaming on NodTube channel GFN, so check us out. Unfortunately, though, we have come to the end of the radio's Hello Korea for today. Thank you for joining us, though, and I hope you enjoyed your time. Earlier in the show, we asked you about this Joseon-era admiral that was a great leader who saved his country during the Injin War, the Japanese invasion of Korea in 1592. He is credited with designing and improving the turtle ship, and on the Gwanghwamun Plaza in Seoul, there is a statue of this admiral. Who is he? We gave you the choice of Jung Bo-gul, or Lee Sun-shin, or Seo-hee. The answer is B, Lee Sun-shin. Happy belated birthday to him. Coming up tomorrow, we'll bring you the latest cultural news, and we will have our daily quiz. Suli will be in the studio with me tomorrow for foodie trends in Korea. And lastly, Gogo will be here to talk about life with a family and navigating that road on Juma Talk. Join us 10:05 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. Monday to Friday right here on GFN 98.7 FM in Gwangju, 93.7 FM in Yeosu. Stay tuned for live coronavirus updates from TBS Seoul. Have a great day. We'll meet you back here tomorrow. The last song for our show for today will be this track. It's by Subway, and it's called 녹자.
어때요? 맛 어때?
Okay, now I can try my tea without.
안 먹었어?
안 먹었어. 그래서 지금 먹어.
어때
But
어때?
it's 뜨거, 따뜻한.
어떤 맛이야?
퀘스천도 많이 왔어요.
Question? 잠깐만. We have questions? 기다려.
엘비스 어때요?
And some messages.
I can feel the taste.
Oh, we have a lot of messages. Oh my gosh.
It's not flowery.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
아, 녹차 맛이 많이 날 것 같아요.
It was a little bit
녹차
more
맛이에요?
minty like.
So we have some messages from 펭수 아빠.
Oh.
안녕 펭수 아빠.
안녕하세요.
And when it's raining, I like to make sad songs at that time. No, 펭수 아빠, we love the rain. It cleans the sky and it makes the flowers grow.
왜
It makes
그런지
your
알아요?
food grow.
케이나가 나이 먹어서.
Frank, by the way, answer 펭수 아빠. Did you do your homework?
Oh yeah.
여자친구 만들기?
숙제였어요?
네, 얘기해줬잖아.
맞아요.
실컷 잘하셨나?
시험 보느라 너무 바빠가지고
아니야.
숙제 아직 못했어요.
먼저 하려고.
인생 숙제.
We
죽기 전까지 꼭 하세요.
also have
실망은 아니죠.
watcher Sammy Kim. Hi, Sammy Kim.
Hey.
Sammy Kim hasn't watched the show since all that Gugak, so it's been a while. Nice to have you back, 사랑해.
Welcome.
Good.
And we are being careful of COVID. 걱정하지 마세요. And we have a question from Kyungmi, who says, is tea drinking culture common in the United States? If I had to guess, not so common. In certain parts, I think probably like Maine, Boston, maybe area, they're more common because they were the areas that were still sort of more loyal-esque to Britain for longer. Just like Canada, because Canada and United States were colonies of Britain, with one small colony of like, you know, other from France and Spain and whatever. But when Lower Canada at the time, which became the United States, wanted to break away from England, Upper Canada, which is Canada now, fought on England's side. So we, I think, have a stronger tea affiliation than the United States, which is far more coffee prevalent, I think.
United States, I think more of coffee.
Yeah.
Like Perdapang is from.
They kind of rejected
Seattle.
tea, I think, because they're all like, no, you know, that's British thing, we don't
they
want
rejected
it.
and the English and everything.
I do think people do drink tea, but not like they do in Canada, and certainly not like they do in Korea or or Asian countries, right? Did you enjoy the tea? Oh, April is a cutie pie from Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. Thanks for tuning. Oh, I don't know who Osop
Also, yeah.
Is that your 친구?
Yes.
Okay. The new girl is a beauty. Woo!
Thank you. I know who you are, so.
I feel like that's a little bit scary. I know who you are.
I'm watching you.
Okay, so I'm actually going to try this now. I still haven't.
It's really
you two talk amongst
interesting.
yourself.
But we should try the top too.
떡을 먹어요.
턱을
제가
먹어야지.
떡 먹는 시간 기다리고 있었습니다.
I like the pink one.
달달한 거 좋아해서.
네.
Do you know how grass smells?
Going to grass.
No, okay, so you know like grass, long grass, how it's got in the warm, the heat from the sun, it's got a bit of like that grass smell to it.
그렇게 생겼지 않았어요?
The tea tastes like grass smells a little bit.
Yeah, it's not really flowery than I thought.
No, I thought it would have like a cedar taste to it, but it's more of a like.
grass.
You know, sometimes 녹차 tastes like hay. You know,
많이
cut
드시네.
hay smell. This tastes like grass smell.
여러분도 그렇게 생겼죠 지금? 공식
좋아요. It's a very clean taste to it, as opposed to sometimes tea, it has like an aftertaste to it, but this is a very clean taste to it.
That's Kayla's point of view. Right,
I have chopsticks. Fight me.
I have one too.
We don't fight in tea culture.
Really?
We eat 떡 in tea culture.
떡 이름은 알아요? 떡
Like in the
이름?
movie Kung Fu Panda, you.
무슨 떡인지 알아?
저 반대말은
알려주세요.
성편이랑.
바람떡.
예?
바람떡.
바람?
바람떡이랑 꿀떡.
꿀떡.
그건 먹고 있는 꿀떡. 동그란 거 꿀떡.
이거는
꿀떡
성편이에요?
아니야, 성편 아니야.
아 그래요?
안에 뭐 들어있지?
That one has the red bean paste in it, right? Or the brown
꿀떡에
paste.
초딩
맞아.
Like peanut. It tastes almost like peanut. It's not peanut butter. Oh,
It has this one, yeah, the white, or what do you call it?
Adam.
왼손 잡이네요, 애플.
오.
Let's see if I could try with my left. If I drop this, guys, I apologize. Now I feel more like me. I can't do it. I can do it.
프랭크 친구 댓글이 하나 왔는데 읽어주세요.
제가요?
유튜브에.
I'm ambidextrous.
아니요, 내 이제 캐다 갔다. 그러니까 몰라. 이러고
Hangzhou Appa, that is a very long message.
아니 루이스 한.
Frank, go back.
아 지금.
Louis wants to know if you also confessed your love in person, not on the radio, in person.
안 했어.
저 시험 보내야 너무 바빴어요.
아 시험 언제 끝났어?
어제 그저께 끝났어요.
그러니까 어제 시간 있었고 오늘 아침에 시간 있었고.
그렇게 부담스럽게
매일 메시지 해주세요. So Frank, 했어요? And Frank get upset. 알았어요, 해요.
아니 근데 저는 지금
그 있잖아 불면에 잔이?
I'm kind of a transition period where
그러네. 잔이가 있었네.
from 집돌이 to someone who is active, you know.
집돌이 진짜.
Did she see last week's show? 안 봤어?
아 그럼 왜 물어봐요?
물어봐야지.
He made a comeback last week to a
커플
girl,
아니었지.
but we don't know if she was watching.
Yeah.
or not.
Oh.
봤어야 되는데.
He looked deep into the camera's eyes.
So
Leave it.
but she'll probably watch today's, right?
Why?
Because Elvis focuses on you, then nobody will focus on Elvis.
Yeah, of course.
I'm married, so that's no fun. And we can pick on poor April.
Of course.
She might not come back next week if we pick on her.
Yeah,
so,
I'll be gone.
right?
And your 막내.
So you're the last one. That is true. Right?
다들 저를 괴롭히고 있습니다. PD님 살려주세요.
카메라 돌려줄게.
Although, to be fair, Elvis
제일
is single.
No.
Elvis is not single?
Elvis is not single?
프랭크 차랑 꿀떡 들고 가서 시험 잘 봤냐고 물어보래요.
프랭크 싸줘요 나머지.
나머지 차랑 떡 싸주세요.
줄까?
시험
여자친구한테 떡이랑 차랑 갖고 와서 시험 잘 갔니?
맞아요.
누가 그랬어요?
여기 청취자
아니?
어디 봅시다.
It's Sophia.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait till Sophia comes back.
Dating 101.
Yeah, of course.
데이트 101.
Yeah.
Very important.
부담스럽네요. 그냥 천천히 하는 겁니다. 그건
천천히 하는 거네.
너무 천천히 해도 안 돼.
Not red bean, it's the
급하게 해도
Yeah, it's the
돼요.
bean, white bean powder.
타이밍이야, 타이밍.
콩가루.
타이밍 잘 몰라요.
Oh, okay. Lewis has just told us that April here is single. Shoot your shot, guys. That's it.
gun.
안녕하십니까?
You like 누나?
Yeah, of course.
연상 최고죠.
러블라인 생기나요?
Feel like we should have some music.
에이프릴 안 나오는 거 아닌가요? 에이프릴 마지막인가요 오늘?
There's a song. Is it Mr. Truth? This guy. 누나가 딱이야.
누나가 딱이야.
그런 노래가 좋아해.
누나 트로트 좋아하는.
Me?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't look.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with liking trot.
I listen to it. It's
Yeah.
not.
Have you not seen that like
I'm good to go.
8-year-old or 9-year-old? Nothing wrong with trot.
멋진 누나는
Yeah, true. Is good.
트로트 좋아하세요?
아니요.
갑자기?
야, 멋진 누나는 딱 봐도 클럽 스타일 아니야. 프랭크 진짜 이렇게 눈치가 없네.
근데 상황이 좀 불려야 되는데 제가 누나 한번 보고 싶은데.
뭘 보고
똑바로 나가세요. 뭐라고?
클럽에서.
근데 지금 못 가잖아.
시기 때문에.
약간,
지금 코로나
빨리 불려야 돼. 약간 상황이.
우리 PD님을 데리고 가야 되는데.
그래 코로나 풀리면 같이 가자.
But I can picture you guys at the club. You're at the bar with like namja with the hair tossed. Frank has got his hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
Elvis has got huge grin.
No, Elvis is not a club guy. He's always sleeping on the weekends. Leave him.
괜찮아. Me too.
Yeah, right.
뭔가
Usually
많이
in
You should do those MBTI things where like, are you like more outgoing
yeah.
or like more
You know,
introvert?
we are Pande.
Oh, 반대. Okay.
다들 나이는 don't matter래요.
그렇죠. Of course.
It's true. Age doesn't matter.
Age is just but a number.
That's
It's just
true.
a number.
It is how your heart feels.
Yeah.
Oh, which heart? What do you mean by heart? Oh.
You got there, Frank.
101.
So apparently the tea is bringing out some very good.
Yeah.
Some vibes. Did you guys put something in the tea? Is there like... All right, guys, we need to wrap up here on What Are You Doing on the NotTube channel, on Channel GFN. But join us next week because we have Children's Day celebrations. And you can shout out to your mom, your dad, or your kids. Find us, Channel GFN. 안녕, 여러분.
Bye.